Hello and welcome to the Sistar USA Women's Nationals Championship. We're streaming live from Moosa Stadium, courtesy of our streaming sponsor, Smart Choice Houston. I'm Owen Patel, and I'm giving you coverage here at Moosa Stadium, where we're going to get to see the Western Conference take back on the Eastern Conference. If you remember that first match earlier today, the Eastern Conference with a comprehensive win in this Sistar Mortgage USA Cricket Women's National Championship to take a 1-0 lead. The Western Conference, of course, last year claiming the cup. The Eastern Conference looking for revenge and looking to avenge their loss from last year. The umpires are making their way out to the middle, and we're going to see a flip in the script. Same team won the toss, the Western Conference, but this time they elect to bat first. Changes in both 11s. We'll start with the Western Conference. Sai Tanmay sits out, Sugita Kaliyaranam sits out, and Suhani Tadani sits out. We're going to get to see Trisha Bhima, Priti Iyengar, and Chetna Prasad. Other than that, the 11 remains the same. For the Eastern Conference, Bhumika Badaraju sits, Jessica Willantagumya sits, and Moksha Chowdhury sits. This brings in Ritu Singh, Holly Charles, and Alicia Fernando. We got a good match in store ahead of us today, so make sure you don't go anywhere. Again, the second of the two matches today here in Pearland, Texas. Some cloud cover overhead, keeping things relatively cool. In the 80s at the moment, feels like 95, and that is a win if you've been in Pearland, Texas before. We're going to get to see a new opening pair. Chetna Prasad will be on strike, and Lasya Malupodi. She'll be at the non-striker's end to start off proceedings. Holly Charles has the ball in hand, a new insertion for the Eastern Conference. Chetna Prasad, one of these young women who've debuted for the USA, debuted in 2021 against Argentina, just 15 years old. And Holly Charles starts off on the money straight away. New wicketkeeper for the Eastern Conference as well. It's Alicia Fernando keeping wicket. Holly Charles keeps things very simple. Doesn't run up from a long way away. And just goes, hits the deck right outside that off stump. Took 2 wickets in 2 innings last week. This one straying down the leg side. Does get that in nip, as we've seen time and time again today. See a slip inserted for Chetna Prasad. That's Metali Partwardhan, who was keeping wicket in the last match. This one going to be wide down the leg side again. And Holly Charles just straying down that leg side. And you can see the angle with the hand, and runs are on the board now. 2 of them off 2 extras. Pulling into Chetna Prasad. This one right over the top of off stump. That's where you're going to want it. It's a good delivery that with her angle in, she gets a good bounce as well. We've seen bounce on offer on this wicket. Again, whether it's to the spinners or the pacers, in some areas where it just may skip low. This one just pushed into the offside. And as we've seen, so sharp, but this time wicketkeeper unable to handle the throw back in. Going to give up 1 on an overthrow. So it'll bring on Lasya Malupadi in To the middle and on to strike as Chetna Prasad gets off the mark. Lassia in the last match didn't really get going, but to her credit, none of the Western Conference did. No one scored in the double digits. So she's looking to right the wrongs from earlier today. This one just pushed across her. Again, Holly Charles just gets that good angle across. You know, we saw the ploy earlier to Lassia was to be fuller and straighter on her stumps. We'll see if Holly likes to go a little bit fuller or if she stays on a length. Does stay as a top edge. Who wants it? It's going to fall short. Just landed in no man's land. And again, we talked about Holly Charles just distracting. A little bit of extra bounce. Right there did so. Lassia just looking to tuck it into the leg side. Found the top edge. Alicia Fernando behind the stumps. Made good ground, but again, just fell right at the crease. This time does tuck it away, but nowhere to go. That's going to do it for 1 over. Sharp start for the Eastern Conference. 3 without loss. And we'll see where the Eastern Conference goes with the ball. Again, no Jessica Wilathagumwa. No Moksha Chowdhury. So those are the 2 openers in the previous match. It'll be interesting to see which direction they go to. Looks like they're going to go to someone who bowled really well in the previous match, Kasturi Vendathanam. Again, gets that angle back into the right-hander. Kept things very simple. Didn't really try to do too much. Right on that off stump, and again, just that angle in. She's very effective. Excited to see her come back in for her second match of the day, and this time being given the opportunity to bowl with the new ball inside the power play restrictions. Again, that same field, deep third, deep fine. This one full straight, push back, and just got her plumb on the ankle. Has that smile on her face, as she always does. Looks like she's going to walk it off, and again, just smiling through the pain at the moment. That one struck her plumb on the foot. You can see a little bit of a limp as she walks back to her run-up. It's just that sting, and again, you can see her just feeling it all the way through. As Chetna Prasad is waiting. This time flashes through the offside, but just to cover. Again, for the Western Conference, they're going to look to bounce back. Only 65 runs in their 20 overs previous to this. In the first match, they're going to look to be a little bit more aggressive. I think try to play some more shots over the top. Try to get the field to spread open. Again, all game long, the Eastern Conference just had 2 fielders out. This one comes firmly off the bat, but straight to backward point. The Eastern Conference so good in the field. We heard Bert Cockley in the first match just talking about how important the fielding is and how he's trying to work with these young ladies here at USA Women's Cricket and improve their fielding and improve them in all aspects of the game through their fitness. Exciting times for USA Women's Cricket. This one angled down the leg side and has gone through the wicketkeeper. Deep fine will come and collect it, keeps it to just a 1. I think for Kasturi, you saw in that delivery when she strayed down the leg side, she spotted the movement from Chetna Prasad. Just tried to whip it past her. Just went a little bit too straight. But now she's got the left-handed Lassia. Again, that angle that's going to skirt across. Always valuable. Fuller right in the block hole. Well watched there from Lacia. Again, the ploy in match number 1 was to keep her on the front foot, keep it on to stumps. More so on middle stump, and dare her to play from there. Good start here for the Eastern Conference. This one driven, but just driven straight to mid-off. And so good in the field the Eastern Conference has been. Been really sharp and kept things in check. As this one squirts out, not deemed wide by the umpire. And that's going to do it. 2 overs gone, 5 without loss. So Holly Charles will be back into the attack, continuing from the north end. Excuse me, the south end, because Thuri was just bowling at the north end. And gets a little bit of nip back into the right-hander. In her 2 innings in the Sistar Women's Regionals, had 5 overs, gave up 16 runs, took 2 wickets. And she's off to that shop start, 1 again. Again, doesn't do anything too fancy, is on a length, gets good bounce. One of the tallest women out there, so she's just able to bang it in. An economy of 3.20. This one's hit straight back down the ground. That's a lovely stroke there by Chetna Prasad. That's a glorious stroke. Good work by Aditi Chudasama to save that one from being 4. Let's not undersell that shot back down the ground. Seemingly out of nowhere from Chetna Prasad. She timed a couple into the offside. This time just straight back down the ground. Just didn't quite have the legs on it to run away to the boundary. But it's 2 runs for the Western Conference nonetheless. This one looking to run it through third man, and they get it to backward point. Good quick single taken. And running between the wickets, so key here. Seen time and time again where boundaries haven't really flowed. It's been hard to come by those boundaries down the ground. So any opportunity you have to take a single, you got to go after it. This one down the leg side, going to be wide. Lassie is going to feel as if she's missed out on that one. Could have sent it away for at least 1, probably 2. And that deep fine in there for that reason. Just in case it gets a little too straight. Captain Gitika Kodale has elected to give all our pacers this field. This one just pushed into the offside. Again, Holly Charles been right on the money from the get-go. New insertion into the lineup for this afternoon matchup. Keeps it right on off stump. And that's been an area where Lacia hasn't scored a lot of runs. She prefers to play on the back foot as well, so I would just like to see Holly mix it up. See if she'll throw one up. Does pitch one up and keeps Lacia straight there. Holly Charles thought she was going to go through her. 3 overs gone, 9 without loss. Kasturi Vendatanam. Gonna continue with her second over. Her first over just went for 2. As you see the families of all these young women out there in support and hoping for the best as all these young women look for a spot in that the USA women's national team. A chance to compete in the Global T20 qualifiers in September in the UAE. Exciting times for USA women's cricket. And all these women are really excited to show what they can do and hopefully get picked for that squad. Get an opportunity to play. No throw quite like representing your country. Kasturi's first over today went for 2 runs. Her first over in the first match went for 2 runs as well. Full straight, right on that Yorker length. Again, so consistent. She looks good, and she keeps rubbing her hands on the dirt, trying to get some of that sweat off. Doesn't seem to be bothering her, though. And just the 2 wides. Other than that, everything's really been on the money. And it's missing a run-up for the second time. I want to rethink. Just take that run-up again. Can never hurt. As a pace bowler, never like to slow down your process of getting back to your run-up. Sometimes you just got to take that run up again. This one squirts down the leg side. You can see that angle with the wrists. You know, usually her wrists are pointing to the leg slip. That one looked like it was to the leg gully. Good work behind the stumps to keep it from being any extras. Besides that wide, Jetna Prasad, she's looked in good touch. Given an opportunity in this match. That one hit straight, but straight to mid-off. A little bit of a misfield. Gonna allow them to get away for 1. Again, the Eastern Conference so sharp in the field. Not gonna be happy with that. And Jetna Prasad, she gets off strike and brings back on Lasia, who's faced 9 deliveries but is yet to get off the mark. Has been just kind of tied down. For those of you who didn't watch match number 1, didn't have a lot of success there. This one is wide, and it's just pushed away through third man. They're going to go ahead and get 1. So Lasia finally off the mark. A young woman in her own right. Debuted versus Canada at just the tender age of 16. Jetna Prasad now back on strike. That time the length pulled just a touch back. And just causes the timing there from Jetna Prasad to be off. And she's looked eager to take it back down the ground. Showing some good positive intent. It might be 5 off of 12, but you can see the strokes come out. You can see why she's already made her debut for the USA. This one, it beats both bat and wicketkeeper. Unable to beat fine leg, however. Going to be a dot ball there and a good comeback delivery there from Kasturi. Gets another dot ball on the board, and again, it's just that length and that line. Right by 5th stump. Just daring the batter to reach out. Now time just beating the outside edge. A couple more deliveries like that, and you could find Chetna Prasad walking back. This one starts much straighter, worked into the leg side. Gonna beat fine leg for at least one. And they'll just settle for one. So the end of 4 overs, 13 without loss. Welcome back here to the Sistar Mortgage USA Cricket Women's National Championship. We're streaming live here from Moosa Stadium, courtesy of our streaming sponsor, Smart Choice Houston. The Western Conference, they won the toss and they elected to bat first. We're going to get to see Disha Dhingra come into bowl here in this 5th over. Starts it by that wide line. Umpire saying not a wide. They should just struggle with it a little bit in the first match with that wide line and just pushing it out there. And she starts much closer to stumps, very difficult to play. Keeps it on that length, and again, some of her deliveries get some extra bounce. Some will stay a little bit lower. Good delivery that. Again, just stayed a touch low for Chetna Prasad, who's looking to take that one well across through the leg side. But all she could do is bottom edge it back onto her pads. But again, good intent here from Chetna Prasad. You can tell the message from the dugout. Look to score. Full and straight, and Doug digs out that Yorker. Tight start here from Disha Dhingra. Starts with 3 dot balls. Full and straight once again, and just worked to mid-on for one. Again, won't mind that if you're the Eastern Conference. The Western at the moment, the projected score is currently 60. Not where you want to be, but again, with the wickets in hand, plenty of batting to come. These two can lay a foundation. They can see their way onto a bigger score. This one full and straight on the legs. Again, they've worked out the plan, Alasia. They can keep it full. They're going to keep it straight. Going to keep it towards that body line. See if they can get one to slip through the gate. This time just pushes into the offside. And a good over again for the Eastern Conference. Just a 1-run over this. 5 overs gone, 14 without loss. And it's going to be Ritu Singh replacing Holly Charles. Replacing Kesturi Vendatanam. Ritu Singh, a new insertion into the second match. One of the rare occurrences where you'll see a pace bowler bowl with the hat. Also bowling with sunglasses as well. Again, a rare occurrence. Don't see it too often. This one a wide, well outside the off stump. So again, the first two have been rather towards that wide line. This one well over it, and just going to want to keep that head up a little bit. Head tends to fall, just causing her to push it away. This one chased after by Chetna Prasad. It's pushed straight back down the ground. Just going to be one. Get another one that would have been wide had it been left alone. Preetu Singh from Missouri. He's played all of our cricket in the Midwest. Her and her brother also big-time gymnasts. Do a lot of gymnastics works over there in the Midwest as well. This one flighted well up and is whipped away to the leg side. Is it going to beat the fielder giving chase? Yes, it will. That's going to be the first boundary for the day. Comes off the bat of Lasya Malupodi. Again, a full toss met with the bat of Lasya. And once she pierced the infield, there was no doubt about it. Quick outfield runs all the way across it. 4 runs to the total for the Western Conference. This time finds a length. It's just worked into the leg side. Just struggling with her line at the moment, Ritu. Just straying down the leg side. Gotta find a way to get back to that off stump. That's a good delivery there on a length, right on that off stump. Sometimes it just takes a couple of deliveries to get into some rhythm. And Ritu Singh missed out in match number 1 here in match 2, bowling this final over a power play. And ends it with 2 good deliveries, ends it with 3 dots. The power play ends 20 without loss. Disha Dhingra to continue here in this 7th over. The Western Conference would be happy with the way they've kind of rebounded in the past couple of overs. As this one is whipped away into the leg side. That's a glorious shot there from Chetna Prasad. Not going to have the legs to go all the way. And it's going to be whipped away for 2. But again, she's shown intent straight away. The willingness to swing the bat around. And Disha just straying on to the legs. Plays this one well in front of square. Away from that fielder at deep backward square leg. And this prompts the captain Geetika Godali to send the fielder out into deep mid-wicket. It's a loaded leg side field for Chetna Prasad. This time well outside the off stump and offside wide. Okay, don't want to bowl there. Wide and outside the off stump, especially with those 2 fielders out on the leg side. Let her hit where you have the protection. Chetna Prasad this time advances. Has she split the gap? Gonna beat one fielder inside the ring, but couldn't beat the other. Ends up being one, but again, you can see the intent here. Comes down the track, tries to get to the pitch of the ball. Keeping the runs flowing at the moment. This one just squeezed out to cover inside the ring. Again, the Eastern Conference might just be feeling a little bit of that heat. Having bowled second in the first match. Now bowling first here in the afternoon. Good comeback here from Disha after being hit for 2 runs, giving up that wide. Lasia pushes this one straight back, and it's going to be one down the ground. I think Lasia that the balls are going to be around that area. Just has to look to push it down the ground. Play with that straight to the left of the mid-on fielder. And just take off and try to rotate strike. Give Chetna an opportunity to express herself. This one pushed straight back down the ground, and that's brilliant. That's going to be the second boundary of the day for the Western Conference. This one as straight as you like. Disha Dhingra right over the top of stumps. This one just sits up. And hits straight back. And again, no chance for the fielders at mid-off and mid-on. That's 4 more to end the 7th over. 29 without loss. Ritu Singh to continue into her second over. Just gave up 6 runs from her first. Started a little bit wavered, but found her line and length. And this one's a shot picked up from Lasia, but has she picked out the fielder? No, just one bounce. Out to long on. Nearly that first wicket. Lasia just trying to send it straight back down the ground. Better bring Chetna Prasad back on to strike again. She's 15 from 23. As this one is taken into the leg side, away from mid-wicket, inside the ring. This Western Conference side now finding these gaps. That first match, in the first half of this match, felt as if there was 22 fielders inside the ring. That's a good comeback delivery there from Ritu. Pulls the length back. Just gets it to move a touch away from Lasia. This one, she went for the big sock sweep. Lacia got enticed by the loop. Missed it, and it just bounces over the top of middle and off. And nearly that wicket. You can see good positive intent here from Lacia. This one just pushed into the offside. Lacia was really interested in that single. Chetna didn't share that intrigue, and you can see the same thing on your screen. Lacia is still pleading her case, so that's one. Chetna still saying no. Again, flighted up, this time bad on ball, but just a short mid-wicket. Good comeback to this over. 8 overs gone, 31 without loss. And as we head into this 9th over of match number 2 of this Sistar Mortgage USA Cricket Women's National Championship, we're going to see Geetika Kondali to come in and bowl here to Chetna Prasad. And a swing and a miss there from Chetna Prasad. Was a full toss, a little bit of swing away. I think that in the end is what deceived her, what caused her to miss out. Geetika Kondali, the captain of this eastern side, also the captain of the USA Women's Under-19s team. As this one looking to be innovative is Chetna Prasad. Just finds an inside edge that goes and runs to fine leg. Luckily able to survive. You could see her just try to play that ram shot and just get it through third man. That ball just kept coming in on her. Geetika, born in California, but moved to North Carolina just a couple years ago. This one full and straight, and it's whipped away in through the offside. Should at least be 2 runs as Lisa Ramjit gives chase. Again, good positive start here for the Western Conference. Move into the 30s, no wickets down. I think that's the big key here. They're starting to find single doubles. Starting to find the holes and the gaps in the field, whilst keeping wickets in hand. This one pushed out wide and could be a bye, and it will be a bye. That one just kind of stopping up on the wicket and fell short of Alicia Fernando behind the stumps. Got to bring Chetna Prasad back on strike, who's 17 from 26. This one wide on the offside. She's just trying to hug that wide line. Geetika just trying to work it. Keep it out of the arc of Chetna Prasad. This time angled in and it's worked into that deep mid-wicket fielder. And smart bowling here from Geetika. Not trying to do anything too fancy. Keeping it full, keeping it straight. The stage saying you miss, I hit. This one outer half of the bat here. But just run away through third man for at least a couple of runs. Make it two again. These two doing a good job finding runs wherever they come. That's going to do it for the ninth over. 39 without loss. Ritu Singh to continue her third over. Has bowled two previous to this that have gone for 8 runs. So a good start for her. This one is pulled away into the leg side. Just going to be a couple of bounces out to long gone. Now she'll have the left-handed Lasya Mulapudi on strike. Again, Lasya has looked to be far more aggressive in the last over and a half. That aggression showing out, and again a miss there. Nearly causing the stumps to go. Just bouncing over the top. Ritu Singh just enticing Lasya to play a big drive down the ground. We've seen it twice now, a big swing and a big miss. This time just looking to run it down, but just kept moving away from her. This time, appeal for a stumping. Not going to be given. Elisa Fernando thought she caught Lasya just hanging outside the crease. And I like the ploy of keeping up to Ritu Singh. Making the batsmen stay where they are. And having to work with the dip in your crease. And I think that's what's undone Lasya twice. Just that dip that she gets. Think it's going to come around knee or waist height. Ends up pitching before it ever gets to your bat. This time just pushed out to short cover. It's a good reel back here from Ritu Singh. 4 consecutive dots that were preceded by a single. As this one run through third man and make it 5 consecutive dots. A good over this from Ritu Singh. Her best of the day. Just 1 run coming from it. 10 overs gone. 40 without loss. 10 overs gone here in the Sistar Mortgage USA Cricket Women's National Championship. Streaming live from Moosa Stadium, courtesy of our streaming sponsor, Smart Choice Houston. The Western Conference, 10 overs gone, 40 runs on the board. They won the toss, selected to bat. Trying to right the wrongs from earlier today, where they failed to chase 95. Their 20 overs finishing with just 65 runs to their name. Still without loss and plenty of batting to come. These two laying out a good platform. As we see Aditi Chudasama into the attack. And near the stumps go. Chetna Prasad moved well across her stumps, looking to heave it over the leg side. And that one just spinning all the way outside the off stump. Deemed buys there from the umpire. Just going over the top of leg stump. You can see Alicia Fernando behind the stump saying it just spun so much. Ends up being 2 off buys. This time just pushed into the offside. Nowhere to go for Chetna Prasad. And we've seen spin be key here. Started with Saya Uni of the Western Conference in the first innings of the first match. As this one's chipped up, who's going to find it? It's going to fall short of any fielder. And a little bit of a misfield is going to allow them to come back for 2. Near the wicket of Chetna Prasad, but instead she's able to come back. Score moves to 44 now. Chetna went for the big sweep there. This one just stayed straight. And Chetna has been so aggressive, so positive. Looking to hit those big shots and score and deal in those boundaries. She's just kept a little bit of pressure on the Eastern Conference bowlers. Just with her intent and her swing. Because if she connects, we've seen it go to the boundary already today. As this one could have been a stumping and probably should have been. Chetna Prasad came skipping down the wicket. Missed it altogether. Alicia Fernando just not able to handle it behind the stumps. Could have and should have been the end. This time just tucked into the leg side to end this 11th over. They're going to get a single from it. 11 overs gone, 45 without loss. And with Aditi Chudasama starting well with spin going to continue in the form of Taranam Chopra. The other off spinner going to come in, bowled well in the first match, took 2 wickets of her own. Again, would love to break this opening wicket partnership. Chetna Prasad is 21 from 33. Before that missed stumping. It's on 22 now. See how many runs that cost the Eastern Conference. This one's hit straight back. Has she got all of it? Don't think she has, but it falls safe. Seen that a couple of times today. Or play the big shot, not get a lot of it. But just fall in no man's land. Taranam thought she had her first wicket on her first delivery. This time showing well down the leg side. That one looks like it's come maybe on the back of the bat on the follow-through. Again, that ball drifting down the leg side. Ends up going to third man after it passes the bat. So I think Lassie on the way through. It just caught the back of the bat. Ended up running it away to third man. Unusual series of events there. Nevertheless, it brings Chetna Prasad. And she just pushes this one down the ground. Long on there. Keeps it to just one. And these two doing a very good job of keeping the runs flowing. Those singles. Able to rotate, not let the score get bogged down. Not let any of the bowlers get too comfortable. As this one is run down to third man again. Good work in the field. Keeps it to a dot ball. But you can see the intent here from Lassie. She's just looking to pick the gap. Find a single. Bring Chetna Prasad on strike. This one is lofted up. It's chipped up. And taken there. Backward point. Lisa Ramjit. Safe pair of hands, and again, wasn't going to spill that one. And finally, the first for the Eastern Conference. They break this opening partnership that's worth 48 runs. It's lasted almost 12 overs. And it's Taranam Chopra who gets the blow. And we saw her a lot flatter. This time just offering a little bit of loop. Enticing the loose shot here from Lassia. Just looked to throw her hands through it. All she found was the outside edge. And Lisa Ramjit took it a lot lower to the ground than it would have seemed live. Again, if you take a look at it on replay. Hands were low to the ground there at backward point. So the first wicket goes here for the Western Conference. It's Taranam Chopra that breaks that opening partnership. And brings out Mahika Kandalala. Into the middle. Mahika, of course, opening in match one here in Moosa Stadium. Didn't find the success she was looking for. She'll be on strike for this final delivery of the 12th over. As this one's found the inner half of the bat to square leg. No runs on offer. Good end to the over here for the Eastern Conference. A good over in general. Just 3 from it. And they get the wicket of Lassia. 12 overs gone. 48 for the loss of 1. Aditi Chudasama coming back in. Had a good sharp first over. Just gave up 3 runs. Probably should have had a wicket in as well. Gonna miss stumping in that over. This one's chipped up. Who wants it? This time no mistakes with the gloves. Chetna Prasad just looking to work it into the leg side. Just found a leading edge. Went straight up into the air. Alicia Fernando, her mistake doesn't pay a lot of cost. Just 3 runs. And you just see us slide it up and just a little bit of extra bounce. And Chetna Prasad, you can see the shake of the head there. Just never knew where it was. Again, just looking to work it into a vacant mid-wicket region. All she could do was sky it up in the air. And Lisa Fernando makes ever so easy catch. And 2 wickets back to back. Kenchetna Prasad and Lasia Malupadi were in there for 11.4 overs. Here 12.2. Both are gone, and we have 2 brand new bats into the middle. It's Anika Colin who makes her way out. This one just left alone. Again, for those of you who weren't tuned into that stream earlier today, Nika Colin debuting last year against the Brazilian women at just 15 years of age. High quality bat and a high quality prospect. As she whips this one into the leg side. And she wants to, and they're going to go ahead and get it. This is good running. Both of these 2 in the middle have made their senior women's debut. Mahika Kandanala in 2019 against the Netherlands. Anika Colin, as we said, in 2021 against Brazil. And both of whom have a good platform. 50 runs on the board. This one just pushed, but just pushed straight to cover. The field just feeling like it's enclosed at the moment. 13 overs gone, 50 for the loss of 2. Platinum Chopra, who started the fall of wickets in her first over, just gave up 3 runs. Again, took that wicket of Lasia Malupadi. She's back in to bowl her second over and picking up where she left off. Tight, not giving anything to Mahika. Again, one thing you can say about the Eastern Conference bowlers, they've made these batters earn every run. Haven't given up a lot of freebies. This one again right by that off stump, and they take a quick single. Again, risky stuff there, and the Eastern Conference won't mind it. We saw a couple of runouts in that same fashion in the second innings earlier today. And Taranam, we saw her be much flattered through the air in her first over. The wicket-taking ball was looped up, just as this one was, but this time all along the ground. They can only find backward point. And Tada's been really good at mixing it up. Just throwing that one loopy delivery in there. This time straying down the leg side, straight to square leg. A little bit of a misfield. They could come back for 2, and they will. It's good running this from the Western Conference. Taking any opportunity they can to take runs. And these 2 brand new into the middle. Never easy to get going straight away. Experienced cricketers, these 2 both playing for the USA women's national team. Gonna look for runs in any facet. Just keep the scoreboard ticking. This one looped up right on the legs. Nowhere to go for Nika Colin to go. 14 overs gone. 53 for the loss of 2. Aditi Chudasama continuing into her third over. Just gave up 5 runs from her first 2. Took a wicket as well. The wicket of Chetna Prasad. And this tandem of spinners have just slowed the game down. Slowed down the Western Conference. This one just defended it again. They've been in the right areas. Getting good turn as well off the wicket. You have to be watchful. This one pulled short, but not able to get onto the bat. Anika Colin cleared out that front foot quickly. Just stayed a little bit lower on her. This one pushed well wide. You can see her just trying to turn it the other direction. Been a good showing for Aditi Chudasama. As this time it's chipped up straight back down the ground. One bounce to long on. Again, just looking for runs and just the third run of the over. You can see Aditi just telling long on to come in a couple of steps. As this one is cut away and good work at point. Just going to keep it at 1. No fielder at sweep recover. If that beats point inside the ring, it's 2 runs. And just good work all around for the Eastern Conference so far. This one again flighted up, hit back. Will it find the hands of a fielder? No, will just fall short of mid-on. Good work from mid-off to just come around. Keeps it to just 1. Another good over for the Eastern Conference. 15 overs gone. 58 for the loss of 2. This delivery whipped into the leg side, and it's going to be 4. Just the third boundary of the day. Taranam Chopra just getting too full. Anika Colin just helping it along its way. Guess this one in front of mid-wicket. And 4 runs to the board for the Western Conference. A much-needed boundary. The flow of runs is just kind of clogged up. That one might have just cleared some things out. Just trying to take it into the leg side. Again, just stayed a little low. This one going to be wide. I'm just trying to keep it outside the arc of Anika Golan, who's just looking to the leg side at the moment. That time just too far outside. This one lofted it all the way up. It's hit on the full in the air and is going to be dropped. And it looks like it might have caught the face of the fielder out on the deep. Immediately grabs her mouth. That's never a good sign to see. And you can see all the players rushing over. She's saying she's okay at the moment. Can immediately hand straight on to her lips. And she's waving them off at the moment. Again, you can see PDP just Want to have a look, make sure she's okay. Again, that's the biggest concern because it did look like it hit her square in the face. And this one will just be pushed into the leg side. Get Anika Colin off strike. Gonna get over this for the Western Conference. 8 runs coming from the first 5 deliveries. One of the biggest overs of the day. Gotta find a way to get a couple more overs like this. This one just gonna be cut, but straight to backward point. No run on offer. And this one, that one looks pretty straight. Not given there from the umpire, probably sliding down the leg side. Good over this for the Western Conference. 16 overs gone. 66 for a loss of 2. And Aditi Chudasama gonna bowl out her 4th and final over. Starts it off with a dot. She's given up 10 runs in her 3 overs previous. Taking a wicket as well. It's looked very, very good. Kept things simple. Offered flight as well. This one's cut, and again, good work inside the ring. Keeps it to just 1. Eastern Conference, their fielding has been good. They haven't given up too many easy runs. They've worked hard in the field, and again, keeping a lot of 2s to 1s. Saving some boundaries as well. This one looked to be cut, just too close for Mahika. And just looking to access that area between point and third man. This time pushed out wide, and will access that region. And just another single. And good work here from Aditi Chudasama. Understood that these two are looking to cut and use that region of the ground. So just went a little bit wider, pushed it out as well. This one on stumps, it's worked into the leg side. Just going to be a couple of bounces out to Holly Charles for 2. And 4 runs so far with the delivery left in this over. Anika Colin hitting that shot. And you can see the intent that she's come in with. She's looking to score, not just looking to sit there. This one goes to cut and just fine, short cover. Disappointed with the way that shot turned out. Saw the gap between her and the conventional cover fielder. 17 overs gone, 70 for the loss of 2. Dharanam Chopra set to finish her 4th over now. This one just pushed out to cover. Misfield, gonna allow for a single. One of the rare misfields for the Eastern Conference. Darnham, previous to this over, gave up 14 runs, took a wicket as well. Has been sharp her previous over. Easily her most expensive. Going for 7 runs. Again, the 2 overs previous to that. Going for a combined 7 runs. So it's been very sharp, Darnham. This one just pushed and pushed straight to the fielder. This time no mistakes made at short cover. Again, keeping it simple. That time offed up some loop. We've seen her go flat, 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 and then on occasion give that loop. This time start any fielder. Just going to be one. But you can see her now just giving the loop more consistently. Might try a crooked one. If she can get one through the gate. Rush on maybe to pads. You can see her telling long on to come up. This one again flighted. And it's going to be worked into mid-wicket. Just going to be 1 run out there. Good to see Kasturi Vandatanam, after being struck on the face with the ball, still able to be out there. As this one's just chipped out to the fielder at long on. Good flow of runs here for the Western Conference. Looking for those singles. That's the big strike down the ground. It's just going to be 1 bounce to the fielder mid-off. Just sliced it. Wasn't able to clear the inside ring. Couldn't get it to the inside ring. And that'll do it. 18 overs gone. 75 for the loss of 2. Disha Dingre to come in for her 3rd over. Previous 2 just went for 10 runs. And she'll be in to Mika Kandanala. This one worked into the square leg fielder inside the Soriko. Gonna be able to escape for that quick single. Again, I think what Disha's done really well is keep it outside the off stump, keep it on a length. On that length, we've seen deliveries jump a little bit, stay a little low. And also she does get some nip back into the right-hander. The Western Conference, I like what they've done. I think the approach they've come in with, these two, very experienced 2 batters in the middle. They're just looking for those singles off every single delivery. They'll swing hard after 1. Again, they're just looking to take those quick singles, put some pressure on the Eastern Conference fielders. See the captain, Gitika Kodali, just having a word with her bowler, Disha Dingre. See what changes if he elects to go fuller. Does elect to go fuller. It's chipped back and straight to mid-off. Another single. Again, good intent here from the Western Conference. They basically made it a point. If the bat touches it, we're going to take off. Going with that bunt and run type of aspect. We'll see if they try to lift one over the top. That one's going to be wide. Just trying to push it outside the arc. Was this just too far outside that time? Five runs already from the over. Bat on ball, and again coming away for that single. It's good running. You can see how quickly Anika Colin was off. And it's been the same for Mahika at the other end as well. They're just ready to get going. Just trying to push the score towards the 90s. As this one's pushed, and Mahika wants it. Could be a run out, should be a run out. Unable to collect it. The underhand throw just getting away from Disha Dhingra. So it's a dot ball to end the 19th over. 81 for the loss of 2. So Kasturi Vendatanam, again was fielding as sweeper cover, was struck with the ball. He's now going to be giving the ball to bowl this final over. She's been good so far today. Bowling 2 overs, giving up 6 runs. I would hope for something along those lines here. And a full toss straight away is going to go over the top of Lisa Fernando inside, who's fielding and keeping up to the stumps. And they're going to be able to scamper back for 2. Good running this from the Western Conference. Anika Colin and Mahika Kandanana understanding the situation. Trying to push their score into the 90s. This time it's sliced straight up into the air, triangulating, and is caught. Kasturi Vendatanam did all the hard work with the ball. Her first 2 overs, unable to get a wicket. And this 3rd over, gets a cotton ball, sliced straight up. She runs all the way across. Made the call early. And that'll be the end of Mahika Kandanala. Played a good innings here. Suited the situation, 12 from 18, but take a look at the wicket. Pitched up, sliced straight up, very high. And a good sharp catch there from Kasturi. It would run underneath that one. It's a wicket, but most importantly, it is also a dot ball. Again, here's another angle of it. Just step down, looking to take it over the leg side. Triangulating, and a good catch taken. As you see Kasturi come onto your screen at the tail end of that play. And it's Snigdha Paul, who's come into the middle. She'll be at the non-striker's end. This one's going to be wide and going to be some buys. Chance of a run out. Direct hit. I think Snigdha Paul had made it. The umpire concurs with that statement. So a gift of a run makes up for that wicket being a dot ball. And they get a run for that ball as well. So still 4 deliveries to go here in this final over. Again, the Western Conference would hope to get to a score of 90 after we saw the Eastern Conference earlier today get to 94. And Snigdapal, who just scored 1 run in the first match today, looking to show off some of her big hitting. That one pushed out and another wide. They'll take the free runs here. The Western Conference will. Again, just trying to keep it out of the arc of Snigdapal, just too far. It was a good start to the over for Kasturi, but consecutive wides to follow the first 2 deliveries. And 86 runs now on the board. Snigdapal would hope to get one in her arc to send it over the top. Gets it down the leg side. It's going to be another wide and going to be more buys. Just struggling at the moment. Kasturi. And this one wide and buys. And just gifting runs to the Western Conference. 1 point at 88. Looked like to be all they were going to be able to get. At least that was the projected score coming into the over. Now 88 with 4 deliveries to go and Anika Kolan on strike. Who's 20 off 25. Gets this one through the offside. Could run away for 4, and it will run away for 4. Overpitch there. Good use of the feet from Anika Kolan. Accesses that offside and the extra cover boundary. Gets taken advantage of. 4 more for the Western Conference. 4 more for Anika Kolan. Again, she showed off the good timing today. This one brilliantly driven through extra cover. Just split the gap there on the offside. 92 runs now on the board. This one is chipped. And it's chipped into the gap. That Fuder at long off was moved wider. Chance of a run out as well. Ball just never got there. Takes 2 more. Good running. 94 runs on the board. No. 94 runs on the board. 2 deliveries to go. This time it's chipped over the top of extra cover. Going to be a couple of bounces out there, and they're going to come back for 2, and they're going to go ahead and get 2. Good batting, good running from the 2 young women in the middle. One delivery left here in this first innings. 96 runs on the board. Anika Kolan, she's 28 from 28. Doesn't get bat on ball. She may be stumped. She will be stumped. And that'll be the end of the innings. Not deemed wide either by the umpire. The score stays at 96 here for the Western Conference. A good fight back here by the Western Conference. Again, bowled out. Finished their 20 overs in the first match for just 65 runs. Here, 96 runs on the board. And it was that start they got off to Chetna Prasad and Lasya Malupudi. As we look at the batting scorecard, Chetna Prasad was 24 from 38. Lasya Malupudi, 12 from 35. And then once those 2 fell, Mahika Kandanala, 12 from 18. Anika Kolan, 28 from 28. Snigdapal, not off, not. Again, just had to play that one. Didn't have to play a delivery. They were just wides bowled to her. If we look at the bowling card, Holly Charles got things going. 2 overs, 7 runs. Kasturi Vendatanam, as you look at the Comcam, she bowled 3 overs, 21 runs, and she added 2 wickets to her name. Disha Dingre, 3 overs, 16 runs. Ritu Singh, 3 overs, 9 runs. You had an over and 7 runs for Geetika Kodali, 4 overs, 14 runs, a wicket for Diti Chudasama. Taranam Chopra, 4 overs, 19 runs, and a wicket for her as well. So that'll do it. The Western Conference, they finished with 96 for a loss of 3 after their 20 overs. We'll see what the Eastern Conference can do in chasing this down and just a little bit time here at Moosa Stadium in Pearland, Texas. Welcome back to Pearland, Texas. We're here at the Sistar Mortgage USA Cricket Women's National Championship. Streaming live from Moosa Stadium, courtesy of our streaming sponsor, Smart Choice Houston. The Western Conference, they won the toss, they elected to bat, and in their 20 overs, they scored 96 runs. So the Eastern Conference would need just 97, and to stick the ball into Ritu Singh to get things going. And straight away, shape into the right-hander from Snigdhapal. And had an absolutely terrific delivery against the Windward Islands under-19 team. Saw that on socials the other day. It was really phenomenal how far that ball came back in on the right-hander. And should be looking to go through the gate of Ritu Singh. Ritu Singh, in her 3 innings last week, scored 43 runs. It's the number 8 overall bat in the Sistar Women's Regionals. As this one gets through her, but misses leg stump altogether, and it'll be a couple of runs on byes. Just 1 run off of byes. And it'll bring Lisa Ramjit on to strike. Lisa, of course, in the first match today. An unfortunate dismissal. Confusion and mix-up between her and Matali Pratwardhan led to her run out. Sent it back in to open the batting. This one was just pushed into short cover. Again, Lisa Ramjit earlier today showed off some of those cover shots. Had some lovely drives through the covers. And likes to drive with anything with width. Snigdhapal just straying down the leg side. Just trying to get onto the pads of Lisa Ramjit. Just goes all the way down for a wide. Again, 97 runs is what the Eastern Conference needs. It's not an impossible task. And they scored 94 in their first innings. Need to replicate that innings. As this one again pushed into the offside. No run on offer. Again, a good start here for Snigdhapal. Going to want to keep things tight. In the Western Conference with their batting innings. 40 and 10 overs, but they were out a wicket loss. No wickets down at that stage in the game. Allowed them to push on. And no runs off the bat from this first over. 2 without loss. And we'll have a newest insertion into the 11, starting from the north end of the ground. Trisha Bhima coming into bowl this second over, partnering up with Snigdhapal. So right arm medium pacer. And you can see a second slip there for Trisha. And this angle straight back into the stumps. And right back into Ritu Singh. Ritu Singh, an aggressive bat, likes to swing hard through the line. Just trying to keep her in check. The Western Conference bowlers. This one strays down the leg side and just catches Ritu Singh on the way through. Just looking to guide it out to fine leg. This one squirts well down the leg side. Just trying to again angle it in, just straying in line. Shabima had 3 innings to bowl in the regionals. Bowled 12 overs, had an economy of 5.17 and took a wicket as well. And we'll be looking for that wicket early here. Pulling straight onto the legs, only worked a square leg. No run to be found. Again, only runs for the Eastern Conference so far have come on extras. Nothing off the bat yet for either of these two. As this one's going to find the inside edge, and Ritu Singh just a little frustrated with herself. Felt as if she should have pushed this one through mid-wicket. But all she could do was push it back onto her own pads. Again, you can see a heavy angle back in for Shabima. This one's straying well down the leg side. Might be worth a shout to remove first slip. Move that fielder into maybe a mid-wicket position. Maybe even take a fielder out of cover, move him into mid-wicket. Dare Ritu Singh to open up the stumps to try to go into out over cover. This time cut and cut to backward point. Again, still no runs off the bat here for the Eastern Conference. And slip has gone away and is more to wide gully. This one again strays down the leg side and is going to be byes. Anika Colin with the gloves on in this match here. Unable to corral that one in, so we'll get to see Lisa Ramjit on strike for what should be the final delivery of this second over. A deep fine out for Shabima. And this one, full straight, a good Yorker that. That'll do it. 2 overs gone, 6 without loss. Snig the ball back into bowl her second over. Angling into Ritu Singh. And Ritu Singh, the struggles continue. It does not seem in full rhythm. You can see she's just a little frustrated. And that late swing back in is just undoing her at the moment. This time a big shot down the ground. It's going to be over the top of it on and a couple bounces over the rope. You felt as if it's only a matter of time. You're not going to bog down Ritu Singh for too long. She's going to play a big shot and None better than this. Got onto it, a little bit of width on offer. Just helps it over the top of mid-on. A couple of bounces over the rope. And the first runs off the bat for the Eastern Conference come in the form of a boundary from Snigdha Paul. So that shot prompts the long gone fielder to drop back. And this one just tucked into that area. No mid-on, so they're able to find a single. Good heads-up running from Ritu Singh and Lisa Ramjit. And that'll bring Lisa on to strike. And if you, by somehow, have not heard the name Lisa Ramjit, she's thrown a first pitch at a Baltimore Orioles game. Goes for the big shot that through the covers. Just 17 years of age. Debuted for the USA women's side in 2019 against Canada. This one again straying down, and more runs from extras. A loose start here for the Western Conference. The extras just not going to help. Again, already 7 extras. The Western Conference experienced only 20 extras from the Eastern. This one is pushed into the offside. So definitely a point of area that you're going to have to control. And the Eastern Conference gave up 20 extras in their 20 overs. Already 7 extras here from the first 3 overs from the Western. This time it's just worked a short cover. You thought, by the way, it came off the bat. You pick a gap, it was going to run all the way, but only could find the fielder. 3 overs gone, 12 without loss. And Trisha Bhima to continue for her second over. Gave up 4 runs in her first. Get all of that on extras. See what she has in store here for Ritu Singh. And extras to start off the over. And those wides down the leg sides, always going to hurt. Especially with only 96 runs on the board. Don't want to give any freebies to the Eastern Conference. Make them earn it off the bat. And the wind could be playing a little bit of a factor. You can see it gusting through the shirt of the umpire. Back-to-back wides to start the over. Lisa Ramjit still not off the mark. Ritu Singh not able to find a gap there. I can play that one shot down the ground. She'll be ready for anything full. Anything she can latch onto with some width. A lot of power. Again, down the leg side. And you see the wind is blowing from the left to the right of your screen. East to west is the wind pattern at the moment. Could be a reason for a little bit of extra swing here for Trisha Bhima. And this one just cut, but going to be cut to backward point. Again, when she's been on that off stump or bold legal deliveries, she's been hard to get away. Again, hasn't given up a run off the bat, Trisha. And you can see the tactic coming here, slip being taken out. Deep mid-wicket put into play. Mid-wicket inside the ring. There's also that long on fielder out in the deep. And sensing a big shot may be coming here from Ritu Singh. This one cut, but it's going to be cut to the fielder. And I think they're just going to have to find that length consistently. Let Ritu score from there. If you're Ritu Singh, maybe try running it down through third man. No deep third. A wide third man inside the circle. That one, she just reached all the way for it. Lost all sense of shape there. Finds the bottom edge of the bat and just jumps over. In that region, she's been hard to play. And still has not given up a run off the bat, but has conceded 7 runs. This time just down the leg side to fine leg inside the circle. Doesn't allow for that single to take place. Again, still no runs off the bat. Just trying to wait and see. Will Ritu Singh try that big shot? Will she try to get one over the top of the infield? It came there. It was a big vicious swipe at the ball. Missed it altogether. 4 overs gone, 15 without loss. So here in the 5th, we're going to get a change in bowling. Yashaditi Theki coming into bowl here. Bowled well in match number 1, 2 overs, 9 runs, had a wicket as well. Going to look to continue that from the same south end of the ground. And Lisa Ramjit gets off the mark here off her 8th delivery. Again, just struggled to get bat on ball and is finally off the line and bring Ritu Singh back onto strike. And a fielder at sweeper cover and a fielder at cow corner for Ritu Singh. So you sense that she might try to take it over the top of mid-on. This one dug in short, is chipped back up. It's going to be a couple of bounces out to deep mid-wicket. And just going to be one. But again, just accessing the gaps now. And that's going to be the key we saw for the Western Conference. Didn't have many boundaries. Just the 3 of them. Excuse me, make it 4 of them. 2 off the bat of Anika Kola. Other than that, they just found gaps in the field. This one flighted up, and he's found the gap. Out to sweep a cover. Just for 1, and again, it's rotation like this that is going to be key. It's under run a ball. Don't want to get bogged down in dot balls if you're the Eastern Conference. And they could go up 2-0. They're able to win this match here today. Let's get one step closer to lifting that cup. This one tucked into the leg side, but no run on offer. Again, Yeshaditi gets a little bit of nip off of the wicket. Finds that length, and she started to find it here. A little bit full of good. And from there, again, we've seen some deliveries jump up. Some stay a touch slow. That bounce has mostly been true. This one flighted up and just pushed, but no run on offer. Straight there to mid-off. And that was an area we saw the Western Conference in the later stages of their innings push that single, even if it's hit straight to mid-off. They just put the fielder under pressure. There's the big swipe, and she's chopped it on. Ritu Singh trying to take it over the top of the leg side, but all she could do was find an inside edge straight onto off stump. And Yeshaditi strikes in her first over. The final delivery of her first over sees the end of Ritu Singh. 6 from 20. Had that 1-4. Try to repeat it right here. Again, take a look. She saw the width. What she didn't see was this little nip. And it's just caused it to come off the inside edge and straight onto stumps. Again, Ritu Singh, just a big swipe across the line. All she did was open her stumps, chops it back on. 5 overs gone, 18 for the loss of 1. And that wicket of Ritu Singh brings out Shabani Bhaskar into the middle. Shabani Bhaskar, of course, part of the USA women's national team. Has 180 international runs in 13 innings. A high score of 30 in women's T20 internationals. She'll be joining Lisa Ramjit out there. We're going to start at the non-strikers end. This one's straying down the leg side, and Lisa just helps it around the corner. And is going to run all the way along the ground for 4 runs. Isani Vaghela, there's a welcome into the middle. Her first delivery of her first over, straying down, and Lisa Ramjit not going to miss out. 4 more to the name of Lisa Ramjit. It's a good shot, that. It's an area of liking. Anytime you stray down the leg side, you see her just get down on a knee quickly just to help it behind square. This time much straighter from Asani. Good comeback delivery, that. Right on that off stump, almost Yorker length. Asani Vaghela also has debuted for the USA. Debuted at just 15 years of age. Has a cricketing family. Her older brother Vatsal Vaghela plays for the U.S. As this one is wide to the offside. In a cricketing family Asani Vaghela comes from. Isani was the number 4 ranked. Excuse me, number 12 ranked bowler in the Sistar Mortgage Women's Regionals. Taking 2 wickets in her 10 overs with a 4.2 economy. And since that initial delivery to Lisa Ramjit has been on the money. This time through covers, sweeper cover there. A little bit of a misfield in the infield, going to allow them to come back for 2. Looks like it was just Aditi Teki. At backward point, just trying to stop it. Got a hand to it. Slowed it down, but allowed Lisa to come back for 2. Good heads-up running by Lisa Ramjit and Shabani Bhaskar. Understanding it's in the gap. This one again pushed into the offside. No misfield here from Yashaditi. This one is slashed through the covers. Just going to be one out to sweeper cover. Again, Lisa Ramjit showing that she can play in that region. And finishes with a single and she'll retain strike. 6 overs gone, 26 for the loss of 1. Yashaditi Teki back in the bowl. And causes Lisa Ramjit to chop on as well. Got Ritu Singh to do it in her first over. This time it's Lisa Ramjit. Again looking to play a big shot through covers. Covers was opened up for that reason. But that little nip in finds the inside edge and finds stumps. That's the end of Lisa Ramjit. 9 from 16, and she has to go. Just take a look. It's pitched up. It's outside the off stump. And just looking to play that big shot through covers. Just chops it on. And right here you can see, just looking to play a big shot. Chopped it on as well, and could have also been a category for stumped. The second wicket goes here. It's Yashaditi Teki, who was brilliant in match number 1. 2 overs, 9 runs and a wicket. So far she's 1.1 overs. She bowled 7 deliveries. 3 runs, 2 wickets to her name. And she's brought out Aditi Chudasama. This is exactly what the Western Conference needed. To slow things down, make the Eastern Conference restart. Aditi Chudasama in the first match, 16 from 30 before being run out. And again, it's that probing line from Yashaditi. Not much you can do from there. Have to drive it on the up and close to your pads because of her angle back in. This one drags short and Aditi not able to get onto it. You can see the grimace after that's come off the bat. Knew she should have put that into the gap. You got two brand new bats in the middle. Shabani Bhaskar's been here for 2 overs, but she's been standing in the same spot, that non-striker's end. And right on that 4th stump line. Nothing that Aditi Chidasama could really do from there. It's been brilliant stuff from Yash Aditi. They've given her the ball. They needed her to come up with something special. She's done just that. This one just strays down the leg side. Gonna be wide. So a little bit of a release and pressure with that run. Again, Yeshaditi in the regionals took 2 wickets in 12 overs at a 5 economy. This one square on stumps, and again, nowhere for Aditi Chidasama to go. 1 delivery left here, the 7th. A brilliant over for the Western Conference to get themselves back into it. Just the 1 extra from the over. Other than that, it's been dot ball after dot ball. As that shot comes out, and they do want that single, and they take on mid-off, and they get it. And it'll be Aditi Chidasama retaining strike. 7 overs gone, 28 for the loss of 2. And we'll get to see our first introduction to spin. Priti Iyengar, who in the regionals took 4 wickets, was the 3rd overall rated bowler. In her 9 overs, 4 wickets with a 1.78 economy. And again, we've already seen the leg spinner in Sayuni extract some spin and balance off the wicket. Should expect the same here for Priti Iyengar. As this one is worked into the leg side. Just 1, and Shabani Bhaskar will finally get to see her first delivery after being out there for 2 overs at the non-striker's end. This is the big wicket for the Western Conference. Would put a lot of pressure on the rest of this Eastern Conference batting lineup. But straying down the leg side and helped down to fine leg. Should be a couple of runs. And it will be. Gets off the mark straight away, Shabani Bhaskar. And Priti just sliding down the leg side, that. And fine leg now pushed into place for that delivery. This one sits up and is hit through mid-wicket. Could be another couple, just going to be 1. It'll be Aditi back on strike. In this period of the game, if you're the Eastern Conference, just keep pushing the singles around. That's what we saw the Western Conference do. This one again just tucked into the leg side, but Shabani not interested in a single there. This drift on offer, really well bowled there from Prithia Iyengar. And you can see the drift back in, and she does turn it a little bit in both directions. It could come back after giving up 4 runs from her first 3. As this one just splits the gap, and they could push for 2. I don't even think they were really looking for 1. There's just away enough from the man at cover. They're able to pick up 2 runs, so at the end of the 8 overs, 34 for the loss of 2. And it's going to be Uzma Iftikhar coming into the attack now. Earlier today with the ball, 4 overs, 19 runs. USA national team, like I was saying, U.S. women's national team player. He's taking international wickets. Just here looking for the wicket of Shabani Bhaskar, a fellow USA national team player. USA women's national team player again. We are here in Pearland, Texas for the Sistar Mortgage USA Cricket Women's National Championship. And we're streaming live from Moosa Stadium, courtesy of our streaming sponsor, Smart Choice Houston. Score reached 34 for 2. As Shabani comes down the track and lifts this one into the leg side. Has she split the gap? No, just going to be 1 run. Aditi not interested in a second. Again, Shabani very eager to use her feet against the spinners. And that deep square leg comes in for Aditi. This one is just pushed, and it's not far enough away for mid-off. Shabani just not interested in it. And no need to take those risky singles at this stage. 62 needed from 68. But don't want to get bogged down in dot balls. And this one tried to use the soft hands, but again, short cover in place. Good over this from Uzma Iftikhar. Just the 1 run from it. 1 delivery left to go. Would love to cap it with the wicket. Offers flight. It's in the air. It's just 1 bounce to the fielder. And direct hit would have been close there. You can see the reaction from all the Western Conference. A single over. 9 overs gone. 36 for a loss of 2. Prithvi Iyengar to continue. She's bowled one over so far, just giving up 6 runs. Iyengar would love that wicket of either Shabani Bhaskar or Aditi Chudasama. This one strays down the leg side. Try to bowl the leg spinner. Just pushed it too far out. And you can see when she's trying to bowl that one that comes back into the right-hander and the one that goes away. Just look at the ball position. This one's a full toss. It's over the top of mid-wicket, inside the circle, running to the boundary. Fielders converging, but not going to be able to get there. Aditi Chudasama gets a full toss and meets it well. It did dip, but met it on the full, got it over the top, and once it clears that infield, there's never really a doubt that it was going to run all the way to the boundary. Make it 4 more for the Eastern Conference. Again, every boundary crucial here for the Eastern Conference. 56 needed from 65 now. Just hugging that blue line made by the Western Conference in the worm chart. As this one is worked to square leg, but good work. Nowhere for Aditi Chudasama to go. Again, you just love to see Prithvi Iyengar to start on off stump. Let it turn from there in either direction. The moment down the legs is just a little too easy. This one is cut away with on offer. At least a couple of runs. And they do elect to come back for 2. Should be a run out. And it won't be anything. Felt like Aditi Chudasama might have been a little bit slow off the mark. Thought it would have been an interesting shout had the stumps been broken. But they get 2 nonetheless. Good running here from the Eastern Conference. This one again cut, but cut straight to the fielder. But a misfield, going to allow them to come back for 1. Just taking a bad hop in front of Trishabima. Going to bring Shabani Bhaskar onto strike with 2 deliveries left here in the 10th over. At the end of 10 overs, the Western Conference were 40 without loss, but 2 balls left to go in the 10th. Eastern Conference are 44 for 2. As this one just maneuvered to mid-wicket. That's a great delivery that from Prithvi Iyengar. If she can keep it there, she's going to find success. It's that area where the batsman has to reach out, has to be worried about the spin. And if you catch a little bit of extra turn, just could catch that outside edge on its way through to the keeper. This one straying down the leg side. Fine leg is there. A little bit of a stumble, however. Going to allow them to at least come back for 2. So 2 runs to end the 10th over. 10 overs gone, 46 for a loss of 2. They just settled for 1 there, however. Didn't come back for 2. Thought about it for a moment. So 10 overs gone, 45 for a loss of 2. 10 overs left in this second T20. As this one is heaved into the leg side. The second T20 of the Sistar Mortgage USA Cricket Women's National Championship. Where it's 52 needed from 60. Make it 51 from 59 now. As we'll see Aditi back on strike. Nothing extraordinary needed. Just has to push around for a couple of runs. This one just stopping up on Aditi, who wanted to take it through mid-wicket. This one pushed through the offside, but straight to short cover. And Uzma Iftihar has gone off to a good start here in this second match. Just gave up for 1 run from her first over. Excuse me, 2 runs from her first over. And right now she's only giving up 1 run through 4 deliveries of her second. Need this to keep yourself in the match. Well under a run of ball at the moment. Got to find a way back onto that run of ball format. This one flighted up, is heaved through the leg side. Fielder there. Would have been a sensational catch low to the ground. But they're going to come back for 2. It's good running this from the Eastern Conference. Getting a sensational effort there at mid-on from Prithvi Iyengar. Again, just take a look at this. This one looped up. Got Aditi to play the big shot. And it just fell, just dipped on Prithvi Iyengar. Again, would have to take it low to the ground. Missed chance. This one cut away and just cut to backward point. And that'll do it. 11 overs gone. 48 for the loss of 2. Shabani Bhaskar will be on strike. And again, this is an important partnership to break. If you're the Western Conference at this stage of the match, you're going to need wickets. And you'd like to have them in quick succession. Just keep new batters arriving into the middle. Keep them struggling to get back into the game. Again, not an easy wicket to get going on from ball 1. You're going to need some time. And it's Snigdha Paul with the ball in hand. Saw the movement early from Shabani. Just jams her up for room, but a misfield. Some sloppy work here by the Western Conference. Should have been kept to a dot ball, but it allows a quick single. Can't afford this at this stage of the match. Every run matters for the Western Conference. Get a must-win match here. Want to keep themselves in contention for winning the Sistar Mortgage USA Cricket Women's National Championship. This one comes off an outside edge. Could be a couple of runs, and there will be as Aditi comes back. Again, if you're the Western Conference, it's a wicket game now. How can you break this partnership? How can you get new bats consistently into the middle? The bats to come, you still have Metali Partwardhan, who came in 1 down. Gitika Kodali, the captain. As this one is driven through the covers, and they want that quick single. Little bit of a misfield. That ball spins away from the fielder at mid-off. But they didn't look for two. They just settled for one. But again, finding runs in consistent fashion. This being the third of Snigdha Paul's 4 overs. She'll have one more to bowl after this. Will be interesting to see when they elect to bring her on, as this one is just hit straight to short mid-wicket. It's good to work there. Again, every run matters. Apart from Snigdha Paul, Yashaditi has 2 overs left. Isani Vagela has 3 overs. You still have 4 overs of spin between Priti Iyengar and Uzma Iftihar. As this one again finds the inner half of the bat from Shabani Bhaskar. Anytime she's looked to come down, just Snigdha has used her little nip, jammed Shabani Bhaskar up for room, not allowed her to swing through the line as she wants. Last delivery here of the 12th. We've seen 2 consecutive dots. This time a full toss and has gone on to stumps. And you can see a little bit of a smile here from Snigdha Paul. Knows it wasn't the greatest delivery she's ever bowled, but she'll take a wicket here. Again, a much desired wicket and a much needed wicket for the Western Conference. Shabani Bhaskar once again coming out of her crease, looking to take it through the leg side. All she could do was play a swing and a miss. Might have come off a bit of the under edge as well. The Sangha will get a good look at it. Just feels like she swung and missed, and it's just hit the base of the stumps. And she's got to go. The third wicket goes there, this time in the form of Shabani Bhaskar. She goes 7 from 12. 12 overs gone, 52 for the loss of 3. The new bat coming into the middle, Geetika Kodali, the captain of this Eastern Conference. And she'll be at the non-striker's end as Aditi Chudasama. She'll be facing this first delivery here of this 13th over. And push straight back. Isani Vagela, who's been so good today, giving up just 8 runs in 1 over. And started off with a little since then. It's been right on the money. This one pushed, and again a string of dot balls. That's what the wicket does. Puts a little bit of pressure now on the 2 bats in the middle. Again, Shabani Bhaskar with the resume that she comes in with, the respect that name demands. You sense the pressure a little bit on the Western Conference. But since her dismissal, it just puts a little bit more pressure back onto the Eastern Conference, as they're going to push for 2, and this should be a run out. Unable to collect it. And Geetika Kodali gets back. Again, it was a late call for that too. There was a little hesitancy as well. But in the end, they make it safely home and get 2 runs for their efforts. 43 from 45 now, as deep mid-wicket runs there. This one is played straight to short mid wicket. Tight stuff here for the Western Conference. Again, understanding that they have to win this match to keep themselves in contention for a solo win. This one's going to be wide and going to be byes as well. Just try to push this one a little bit wayward. Just one stick in the webbing of Anika Golan behind the stumps. And we're going to see our first look of Gitika Kodali with the bat. Came in the first match, but all she did was stay at the non-striker's end and run around in that final over. Starts off with the dot ball. Who's here at the ground taking photos. And you'll see some of those Lodi pictures, I'm sure, later on social media. Also hosts a podcast called Stars and Stripes. Had Gitika Kodali on there, and they talked about her batting improvement and how she's really put it on emphasis. And is really excited about what she can do with the bat now. But 2 dot balls to start off Kodali's day. 13 overs gone, 56 for the loss of 3. And they've elected to go with spin here. Priti Iyengar. She's going to continue. Previous over was expensive. Just kind of straying down the leg side. And again, I thought she timed it up towards the back half of Rani Bhaskar. Right on a good length, right over the top of middle stump. Forced her to reach out. That ball spins in any direction. Always a chance of LBW or caught behind. If she can find that length again, that line again, she can find some success here and break through the defenses of Aditi Chudasama. But starts off with the full toss. It's going to fall short of that deep mid-wicket fielder. But it'll bring on Gitika Kodali. Who was the number 19 overall bat in the regional championships. It's going to start with 3 straight dot balls. Again, never easy to get going from ball 1 here at Moosa Stadium. We've seen it pretty consistently. Just takes a little bit of time to get in. And now 40 from 40 is the equation. It's a great fight back here from the Western Conference. This one drug in short. Going to be a couple of bounces out to deep mid-wicket just for 1. And those are the balls you're going to want to avoid. Don't want to let the batters sit there and just stay on the back foot, heave it away. Keep them reaching out in front of them. Looped up again and close to the body. Couldn't cut it quite behind square. And a bold move to go with the spinner here, but it's paying off for the captain, Sudushi Harsa. As this shot comes back down the ground from Aditi Chudasama. Almost spun away from a wicket. Did well enough to get a hand to it. Keeps it to just 1. Aditi, though, starting to free up those hands. We've seen her in the past couple of overs start to play some of those bigger shots down the ground. This one staying low on Geethika. And a good end to the over. A good over this for the Western Conference. 14 overs gone. 59 for the loss of 3. Isani Vagela coming back into bowl her third over. Previous 2 overs, this one for 12 runs. She's going to have Aditi Chudasama on strike, who's 21 from 30. She gets this one through the leg side, just going to be 1 out to deep mid-wicket. The equation now reads 37 from 35. Just overrun a ball. Again, if you're the Eastern Conference, no need to panic. Just push the balls down the ground, find runs, take it deep. This one is pushed, but pushed straight to Isani Vagela. Geethika not happy with herself there, just frustrated. Knows the situation at hand. Knows she needs to find ways to just get off the strike. Get runs on the board. Don't let the equation get too out of hand. It's a brilliant delivery this from Isani. Just nipping a look through the line. That late nip. Just going back through the gate. Getting a brilliant reel back here from the Western Conference. Looked like it could have been a done deal. This one inside edge onto pads and a third consecutive dot ball. This is really impressive. Again, you want to call it death bowling from Isani Vagela. For Geethika Kodali. Can she find a way to get bad on ball? Get some runs on the board? Outside edge is going to flurry to third man, and they're able to get 1. But now with just 1 delivery left in the over, it's 36 from 31. The Western Conference, with the exception of a boundary coming off this final delivery, will win this over. And you'll feel comfortable to close out this match. Again, evenly poised at the moment. This one's worked into the leg side. Just going to be 1 to end the over. A great over this from Isani Vagela. Just gives up 3 runs from it here in the 15th. From the final 5 overs. Welcome back here to the Sistar Mortgage USA Cricket Women's National Championship. We're streaming live from Moosa Stadium, courtesy of our streaming sponsor, Smart Choice Houston. And you felt as if it's only a matter of time before Yeshaditi Teki comes back. 2 overs, 5 runs, 2 wickets. And again, single doubles are what you need if you're the Eastern Conference. Constantly score. 34 from 29. Again, they're well ahead of the required run rate at one point. A couple of wickets, a couple of big overs. Yashaditi, a couple of those tight overs just turned the game around. This one's worked into the leg side. Just going to be one. Again, for the Eastern Conference, you got to find ways to continue to score, and this is a good start. But you are going to need those doubles. A boundary here there would help tremendously. And Yashaditi does have an over after this as well. This one with on offer. It's up in the air. It's away from sweeper cover. And is going to run all the way to the boundary for 4. One of the rare occasions we've seen Yashaditi give with. Aditi Chudasama has been there for 34 deliveries now, and we've seen her be a little bit more aggressive. Sees the width on offer. Super cover. Well too wide. Able to get it over extra cover for 4 runs there. Brilliant shot there from Aditi Chudasama. Moves the score to 68. Makes it 29 from 27 now. Again, we talked about a boundary just aiding this chase. One away some of that pressure. It does just there. This one tucked away into the leg side, but no run on offer. And a good comeback delivery this from Yashaditi right on stumps. Didn't give the width that Chudasama was looking for. That time width, and it's too wide. Wide there from the umpire. Makes up for that dot ball. And we'll take any free runs that they can get. 28 from 26. And Yashaditi just got to get to that probing length and probing line right on 4th and 5th stump. This time it's a low full toss that's been hit straight up into the air. A couple bounces out to long on. Again, the low full toss. Talking to Dane Pete the other day. This play test for South Africa calls the low full toss the most underrated delivery in all of T20 cricket. On that occasion, just giving up 1 run. This one worked into the leg side, straight to long on, and just going to be 1. Good end to the over this for the Western Conference. The equation is simple. 27 from 24. So we welcome you back here. 16 over 7 balls, 71 runs are on the board. But we're focused on 2 numbers, 26 from 24. As Gitika Kodali puts this one into the leg side, should be a couple of runs. They're pushing for 2. Good running, they're going to get it. It's Uzma Iftihar coming in to bowl. Previous 2 overs. just went. And we saw this in the first match, the change of angle. She did it the final delivery of every over she bowled. Here she's doing it to Geetika, just trying to change the angle, keep her honest. This time pushed into the off. Cleanly, Geetika losing. Iftihar looking to take off the stumps, lost the ball altogether, pushed it into a vacant mid-off region, and recognizing there's no one in that area, they can come back for two quite safely. 4 runs from the first 2 delivery. 22 from 22 now. This one again pushed in that same area. Struck much firmer off the bat, straight to that short cover fielder. 22 from 21. And there is that gap at cover. Geetika just looking to push it into that area. This time soft hands, and it is in that gap, and they are going to get an easy single. Again, that's got to be the idea. Anytime you see that width, try to push it into that gap. And you can see Usma Iftihar changing the angle on Aditi Chudasama, coming over the wicket now. This one right on middle stump. It's dug out. And is it going to be one? A little bit of a misfield in the infield. And we'll bring back Geetika Kodali. We'll see if Usma elects to stay over, come around. And she is going to stay over. And an experienced cricketer. She's taking international wickets. Now she's looking for the wicket of Geetika Kodali. This one's hit straight back over the top, off the toe end of the bat. Just getting a runs are runs here. And at the end of 17 overs, 17 deliveries. Over. Just seen a press release from USA Cricket. Exciting news. The USA to host the West Indies Women's Under-19s for historic bilateral series in Florida. The two sides, USA Women's Under-19, for the first time ever in a 5-match T20 series. Snigged over. Excuse me, her 4th. The 18th starts off with the wide. So it's a run of ball, 18 from 18. And as the players here are looking to vie for their spot on that global T20 qualifier, as it's pushed into the offside for a single. And these ladies looking to get a spot on that USA women's national team for that global T20 qualifier. That series between the USA and the West Indies will provide great preparation for the inaugural ICC Women's Under-19 T20 World Cup. That T20 World Cup that both sides have qualified for in South Africa in January. So exciting news here for USA Cricket. I'm sure all these women will be excited to hear the news about this series. But a big dot ball just bowled there from Snigdha. There's a single taken. A throw comes out. Might have been out had it been a direct hit. But again, that risk-reward ratio, you got to make sure your backup is there. That goes anywhere else, which are just gifting runs. At the moment, it's 16 from 15. Drifting down the leg side. That's going to be wide and going to be one off buys. Oh no, it's just a leg buys. Fall. That one drifting well down the leg side. Just caught the pad on the way through. 15 from 14. Diti Chudasma will be on strike. She's 31 from 39. She's played a good innings here so far today. Can she see it through the line? This one pushed into that mid-off region. There's a long off in play, so always a single on offer. 14 from. Again, take the game deep. Find those singles. And is Boldham. Snigdha Paul gets through. Geetika Kodali trying to take a big heave through the leg side. Big gap between bat and pad. And Snigdha Paul just sneaks through. Crashes on to middle stump. And the captain of the eastern side will have to go. And that means from the final 12 deliveries, 14 runs are required. Again, just take a look at the replay. It's the final delivery here of this 18th over. Snigdha Paul just angle in and gets straight through Geetika Kodali, who's just looking to lift it over the top of the leg side. And you can see it here. Looking for that big shot down the ground. Missing it altogether. And middle stump goes flying. The bails go flying off. Holly Charles into the middle. She'll start at the non-striker's end. Again, 14 from 12. And going back to that press release, Cricket West Indies are delighted to announce a first ever women's West Indies women's under-19 team. They're going to travel to Florida to take on the USA women's under-19s in a 5-match T20 international series. These games are the first time in the history that female youth internationals between the two teams are taking place. And it's Aditi Batudasamo who's chipped herself out. Straight to short cover. They brought the spinner on in the 19th. Always a risky move, but they've trusted the national, the U.S. women's national. Usma Iftihar. 32 from 41. She has to go. And more drama unfolding here at Moosa Stadium. It's outside the. Just slices it. Sindhu Sriharsa, she's not going to drop it. Is going to bring out Disha Dhingra, who played a good innings in match number 1 today. Again, if you look at Aditi Chudasama, just looking to send it over the top of cover, but all she could do was slice it. That's a big moment in the match here. 2 brand new bats into the middle. Not easy to get going straight away. And you need 14 from 11. Absolute scenes here at Moosa Stadium. The Western Conference trying to even out the series 1 apiece. And a dot ball to start off for Disha Dhingra. Again, got to find a way to get a single. 14 from 10. Boundaries hard to come by. So you know you don't want to get in a position where you need boundaries. This one comes off the inner half of the bat, straight to square leg, but a misfield. Going to allow them to get at least 1. And they'll just settle there. Holly Charles on to strike. Just had 1 inning in the regionals where she just scored 1 run. Again, she's going to need to find a way to score a couple of runs here. Again, 13 from 10 is what the equation reads. Excuse me, make that 13 from 9. Goes for the big swipe. It's just away from the hand of Moosa Iftikhar. And they're going to come back for 2. Chance of a run out. Good running. She's well in. Disha Dhingra was off in a hurry. With a thumbs up. Again, Disha Dhingra, no one would have been sat in that dugout for quite some time alongside Holly Charles. No, they need to. 11 from 8 now. Again, a big heave is found inside edge, and they're going to go for 1. Holly Charles could find her end. Oh, no! And she couldn't find it either. Moosa Iftikhar handle it. Falls out of her hands. Couldn't get it on the direct hit. Felt like Holly ends up running, and she's just giving up in there. She sped through it. The pressure does. Unable to handle it. Last delivery here. This one's cut. It's going to be cut to cover. And they're going to get 1 from it. Probably wise not to throw it. Don't want to risk any overthrows. So that sets us over. It's going to be 9 from the last 6 deliveries. Nine required from this final over. He's got 6 deliveries. Disha Dhingra and Holly Charles do to see themselves over the line and go 2 up on the Western Conference. If the Western Conference can defend these 9 runs, they'll even out. So Disha Dhingra on strike, and she's going to turn to Yashaditi Teki, who's been brilliant today. She's taken 2 wickets in her own right, 3 overs, 14 runs. And has 2 wides. But other than that, you feel very confident giving the ball to Yashaditi. Gets that little nip back in. Makes the batsman just have to be extra watchful. And that's all you can see. Disha Dhingra go into middle stump. Just want to have that option of accessing the leg side. Okay, 9 from 6. There's a deep mid wicket, a long on, a long off, and a deep cover. Third man and fine leg inside the ring. Yashaditi coming in. And this one's accessed through fine leg. Just going to be 1. You'll be okay with that. 1 run's okay if you're the Western Conference. It's 8 from 5. Can Holly Charles deliver a boundary? Has to make sure she at least delivers 1. Again, a boundary is going to be required. A couple of doubles will be required. You saw Disha Dhingra trigger all the way outside her stumps just to tuck that one through fine leg. Again, Holly Charles is going to try to hit it straight back down the ground. Can she find the gap? No, she can only be bold. Opened it up. It was a brilliant delivery there from Yashaditi. Not folding under the pressure. Went full. Right on stumps. Charles, who just tried to heave it over cow corner. Could do nothing more but open up her stumps. And Yashaditi picks up wicket number 3. 8 from 4 now. And just take a look at this. Yashaditi Seeing the stance, goes full, goes straight. A little bit of a nip goes through Holly Charles. Goes crashing on the stumps. Again, the biggest thing, it's a dot ball as well. Eight from 4. New bat on strike. It's Taranam Chopra. With the keeper keeping up as well, Anika Kolan. Not going to allow these two to run through if they miss. They're going to have to score with runs off the bat. He's moved mid-wicket straighter. Let's see what Taranam Chopra has. Her first look at the bat comes in this pressure situation. Full and straight, it's just pushed out. Will they try for 2? They're going to go after it. Chance of a run out. Should be a run out. And it won't be. They got back. Look at this running. Disha Dhingra was off in a hurry. You saw her having a little bit of a huddle with Taranam Chopra before the delivery. I think at that moment she said, we're going for 2. This angle will be a great look at it. Again, it's on the way back. Look, all the way off. See, that was the wicked delivery. Try to get you that rebound. This one worked through covers. Just going to be 1 run. Again, the captain not wanting to risk any overthrows. It's 5 from 2. Can Disha Dhingra, who's only been there for 4 deliveries, can she find a boundary? She's lifted this one over the top of covers. Is it going to have the legs to go all the way? Sweeper coming, gives a dive, unable to get there, and scores are level. It was Trisha Bhima running all the way across, but couldn't stop it off the bat of Disha Dhingra, who just lifts it over the top of covers. And look at his running all the way. The dive comes out, unable to stop it, and scores are level. It's 1 from 1. Dhingra pounces on the width. And the field completely encloses. Taranam Chopra's got to get off in a hurry. No point in sitting in your crease. And Disha Dhingra just looking for any bit of width. He's going to look at take it down. The Eastern Conference. Gets this one over the top, and it's going to be the winning runs. Disha Dhingra, she's given her team the win here. And the most pressure of situations. That 1 run comes on the board, and you can see them running onto the field. And that does it. An unbelievable game of cricket we've just witnessed. Disha Dhingra, who's only been there for 6 balls, delivers the winning runs, the 4 the ball previous, and the single here. And you can see her teammates with the hugs all the way through. It was her that took that quick second. And the Eastern Conference, they'll take a dramatic 2-0 lead here in this Sistar Mortgage USA Cricket Women's National Championship. And what an unbelievable way to end an unbelievable day of cricket. If we look at the batting scorecard here, started things with Ritu Singh and Lisa Ramjit. Ritu Singh 6 from 21, Lisa Ramjit 9 from 16, both of whom were undone by Yashaditi Teki. Shabani Bhaskar comes in 7 from 12 before being undone. Aditi Chudasama 32 from 41, batted a long way through this innings. You had Geetika Kodali, who came in a little bit of partnership with Aditi, but before she could finish it off, 11 from 19, she was bowled by Snigdha Paul. Holly Charles in the final over, bowled by Yashaditi Teki. 3 from 3 she was, and then Disha Dhingra and Taranam Chopra. 8 from 6 for Disha. Taranam 3 from 2. Again, big 3 runs in her own right. Snigdha Paul was bowling beautifully. 4 overs, 15 runs, 2 wickets to her name. Yashaditi Teki 4 overs, 23 runs and 3 wickets. Trisha Bhima 2 overs, 7 runs. Ishani Vaghela 3 overs, 15 runs. Priti Iyengar, 3 overs, 18 runs. And Usma Iftihar, 4 overs, 17. They chase down 97 on the final delivery. Unreal scenes here from Moosa Stadium here in Pearland, Texas. We want to thank all of you for tuning in throughout the day's play, whether you watched match 1, match 2, or both. We appreciate you guys tuning in to this Sistar Mortgage USA Cricket Women's National Championship. I'm Aman Patel signing off for Smart Choice here in Houston, our streaming sponsor of the day. Again, the Eastern Conference, they take a 2-0 lead here at Moosa Stadium, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for more cricket in Pearland, Texas.